Hey folks, Joe here out in the wood shop again, and we'll do a quick little video here today. What I have here is a two-piece Greenland paddle, and right now the ferrule is not attached to the paddle itself yet. Everything's shaped, the paddle is actually oiled, and now we're going to take this apart here. So that's how the paddle will come apart right there. It goes back together. There's a push pin inside. I've done some videos before talking about these. And what I've done, I'm going to come up closer to the camera here, see if we can pick this up. I put a little bit of tape on just to keep the glue from getting onto the ferrule itself or onto the end of the paddle where it's oiled up. And I drew a couple lines so I can line it up properly when I'm gluing it. Did that on both sides. You can see that right there maybe. And what we're going to do is I've got a heat gun here. I'm going to take this apart. Hold on. And before putting on the glue, I'm just going to take the heat gun and I'm going to warm up the ferrule end and the end of the paddle so it's nice and warm so the glue doesn't set up too quickly. And here I have my glue gun warming up. There's a couple ways of attaching let me get over here so I'm in focus. There's a couple of ways of attaching a ferrule to the paddle itself. One would be using epoxying it in place. It's pretty much a permanent joint. Stays on there real well. Very difficult to get it off if you ever, say, break your paddle, want to reuse the ferrule on a new paddle, which some people will do. The other way is using a different type of glue, in this case a nice quality hot glue. And I'm going to put hot glue all over the exposed part of the paddle here, which the ferrule mates up to. This is all spun out on my wood lace over there. Slide that on, make sure it's all lined up, get both halves. And I'll let it set up for a little bit, let it cool off. I'll peel off the excess glue that's coming out, and then I'll remove the tape, and boom, we have a done paddle. So let me grab the heat gun here. And like I say, just going to warm it up a little bit. I got this on high, it doesn't take long. I get a little closer to the camera. I'm putting on a very liberal amount of glue. And as I slide the ferrule on to the paddle itself, it's going to kind of spread the glue around as well. And we're going to have a nice tight joint. Let me grab my glasses here. Should have done this beforehand. Glasses so I can see what I'm doing. My eyes are very old, you know. I've had these eyes with me ever since I was born, and I was born at a very young age. And they don't work as well as they used to, but I am working on fixing that. That's one end done. Now we'll just quickly repeat the process for the other half. Just bear with me a minute here, we're almost done. And again, we're going to get the glue gun here. And we just knocked over the ferrule, but we'll pick that up in a moment. Lots of glue on it. We want a nice solid joint. And we line up our pencil markings, slide the ferrule on into place. And there. Now I'm going to pause the camera for a minute, let that glue set up, let it cool down, and then I'll be back and we're going to finish it up. Just hold on a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, folks, so it's about 5 minutes have gone by, plenty of time. And well, here's, like I said, some of that glue is going to ooze out between the joint there as I pressed it together. But it's cooled off, it's cool to the touch, still slightly warm. Now I can just kind of peel it all right off here. Just like that. My garbage can is right over there, so just getting rid of that. Put my glasses on so I can see. Now the protective tape, just a standard old masking tape. You know what? We have to do this one again. Let me check this guy. This one looks good. That one is perfect. What happened with this one is I didn't quite push it in quite far enough, and I have just a slight little gap here, about 1 millimeter, so this ferrule has to get pushed up just a little bit further. Not a problem. Let me grab my extension cord again. I got ahead of the game here, and I put away some of my stuff a little bit too early, it turns out. So I needed my extension cord for the power. I need my trusty old heat gun. I don't need the glue gun. I'll pick that up in a minute. Just hold on here. Plug this guy back in. Now, if I'd done this with epoxy and left it overnight to cure up, it'd be much more difficult to get this apart and fix it. As it is, it won't be a problem. I'm just going to warm this up real nice. Actually, hold on a minute. Excuse me while I step out of view of the camera here for a second. Just getting a fresh glue stick here. We got it plugged in. We're going to let that warm up. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to warm this up, slide it back off, put a little bit of fresh glue to replace what's squeezed out, and then we'll be good to go. So while that glue gun is warming back up, we're going to get this guy apart. A little fresh glue. The tape with the little pencil lines is still on, so we're just going to line that back up again. And this time I'm going to press it in, make sure it's up there all the way. We'll let that set up, and we'll be right back after that cools down again for a couple of minutes. Okay, folks, thanks for your patience. We are back. This video ended up being not quite as smooth as I had planned on. I made that one little mistake. But no big deal. It's kind of cool, actually, because I can show how easy it is to take it back apart and correct my little mistake. We're just going to peel off the tape here. Like I say, the tape here, this is for a couple of things. Avoids excess glue getting onto the paddle or the ferrule itself. And it also gives me someplace to make a couple pencil lines, so I make sure I have it lined up and both halves of the paddle are going to be straight. That's kind of important. Greenland paddles are not feathered. They are perfectly aligned. No feather required or needed. Yeah, just picking off a couple little, tiny little specks of glue sticking out there. Get that trimmed up, cleaned up nicely. Dispose of that. And we once again have a now complete two-piece Greenland paddle. We'll take a little bit of trim tape tomorrow and just put it right around this here joint, just clean that up a little bit further. A little trick I've been doing for a lot of years. But essentially, this paddle is finished. It's properly lined up, good to go. This is a two-piece Greenland paddle, obviously, and it is a 210 centimeter. And this will be shipping out either tomorrow or the next day to a fellow here in the province of Ontario. And what I'm going to do is just set this aside. Actually, I'm going to break it back down into two parts again. Set it down, less chance of it getting knocked over, maybe dinged up a little bit before it gets off to its new home. Anyways, that's how I attach the ferrules to my two-piece Greenland paddles. It's quite simple and effective. I've been doing it for, I'd say, about 15 years. My first 15, it's 2025. Yeah, about 15 years. When I first started doing the two-piece paddles, I was using epoxy on the joints, which is a real permanent joint. And if you screw it up at the start and your angle's a little bit wrong, it's quite a chore to try and correct that. So I went to a glue gun setup, and not a problem. It's worked like a charm ever since. And I've always been very happy with the results. So that's the way we do it here at the Joe O Paddles Woodshop. Well, that's just a quick video on the two-piece paddles. I had to finish that up tonight, so I thought I may as well do a little video on it. I don't do a lot of videos talking about the paddles anymore. This channel has become more about the cycling as well as running as of the last several months. And just general stuff that I do, food dehydrating for camping, bike packing, all that kind of fun stuff. But I figured I'd throw up a little paddle video tonight, and there will be another one actually coming up soon. I got some paddle stuff I want to talk about, not talk to. I'll talk to you. So yeah, it's all good. Anyways, do the standard YouTube stuff for me. Like, subscribe, and leave any comments down below. And we will talk to you again soon. Cheers.